Hey guys, my name is Kathleen, former PCT thru hiker, avid Pacific Northwest day hiker, and the hungry hiker here on YouTube. At the beginning of August of this year, I went out with 3 of my friends, Yuhal, Clarkia, and Raquel, to hike the Wonderland Trail in Mount Rainier National Park here in Washington State. For 10 days, my friends and I went on an epic backpacking trip where we hiked all 93 miles around the base of Mount Rainier along the Wonderland Trail. Starting from the Sunrise parking lot, we slept at 9 different tent sites along the trail, experienced Mount Rainier from every angle, hiked up and down 22,000 cumulative feet along the way, and had the time of our lives out there. In this video, I'm going to show you all of the backpacking food I brought with me for this trip. I'll also show you all the gear and my backpacking cooking system I brought with me, and how I prepared my backpacking meals I ate on trail throughout the day. If you're curious about the Wonderland Trail and want to learn more about our hike, everything from how we put together our trail family, getting the permit, putting together the trip itinerary and trip logistics, to learning about the trail rules and how we train for this trip, then check out my video, How I Backpack the Wonderland Trail, which I'll link both up here and in the video description below. If you want to see what on-trail life was like for us during our trip, check out the Wonderland Trail vlog series I put together for each day of our trip. I'll include a link above, as well as a link in the video description below to the playlist featuring all of our Wonderland Trail vlogs. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that bell icon to get notified anytime I add a new video. Instead of having to carry all of our food for 10 days, we decided to cache our food in 2 different spots along the trail. Our first food cache was up at Mowich Lake, which we picked up on day 2. This made it so we only needed to hike out with a day and a half's worth of food on our first day. We picked up our second food cache at Longmire, which was halfway through day 6. For food caching in Mount Rainier National Park, you have to pack everything in a hard-sided bucket to prevent rodents and critters from getting inside. Each bucket has to be labeled with your name, permit number, and the date you anticipate on picking up your food cache. In my food cache, I not only put in my food for that particular section of the trail, but I also packed a couple extra goodies to enjoy when picking up my cache, like a can of root beer, a bag of potato chips, and a bag of apple chips. One thing you can't include in your food cache is a fuel canister. These can only be left with the ranger at either the Longmire Wilderness Information Center or the White River Wilderness Information Center. For this trip, I used a full medium-sized 8-ounce fuel canister and ended up coming home with almost half of a fuel canister. The size of fuel canister you decide to bring for your trip will depend on how long your trip is and how much you plan on cooking while out on trail. For 10 days, I found the 8-ounce fuel canister to be more than enough fuel for my trip, and that was with boiling water and cooking at least twice a day out on trail. No one in my trail family ran out of fuel during our trip. For half of the food I brought with me for this trip, I tried a backpacking food service called Ride on Trek, which put together my food for each day for 5 days. Everything from breakfast, lunch, and dinner to all the snacks I need throughout the day. For breakfast, I had meals like peanut butter cup oatmeal, classic oatmeal porridge, and cranberry walnut oatmeal. For lunch, it was mainly snacks like cheese sticks, beef jerky, beef sticks, Chex Mix, hearty trail mix, peanut butter packets, crackers, olives, and hard biscuits. Dinner was my favorite. I had meals like mountain rice, backcountry chili, ramen beef soup, spicy peanut noodle soup, cheesy mashed potatoes with chicken, and trail-ready beef lasagna. There was only one Ride on Trek meal that I didn't care for, and that was the gato noodles I had on the first night of our trip. I don't know if maybe I overcooked them or what, but the whole dish turned into mush in my pot. Nothing I added to this dish, peanut butter, soy sauce, lime juice, or hot sauce, could make this one taste good to me. Other than that, all of my other Ride on Trek meals and snacks were super yummy and easy to make. Ride on Trek meals require you to cook them in your pot with boiling water, as opposed to adding boiling water to a bag and sealing it until it's rehydrated. This means you'll need to allow a little extra cook preparation time to your meals and have to clean a dirty pot after your meal. For how tasty these meals are, I'd say having to clean a dirty pot after eating was worth it on this trip, especially because we got into camp well before dark each night and we were always near a water source. To use the Ride on Trek service, visit their website to shop for individual meals or create a custom meal plan. For my Wonderland trip, I opted to create a custom meal plan for 5 days. You'll start off by choosing how many days of food you'll need, whether you're planning for yourself or your family, and then you'll have the option to personalize all of your food and beverage choices. Ride on Trek lets you select how many calories per day you want your plan to be, along with choosing whether or not you want spicy options, vegetarian options, and or non-dairy options. Once Ride on Trek puts together your plan, you can go back in and swap out any of the food and beverage options for other options you'd rather have. Once you submit your order, Right on Track will put together your food plan by packaging up each day individually in its own bag, making for super easy and quick trail organization for your food. A huge thank you to Right on Track for inviting me to try their backpacking food service and gifting me 5 days worth of food for my trip. If you're interested in checking out Right on Track for your next backpacking adventure, use the code HungryHiker50 to get a 50% discount off of your first order. In addition to my 5 days of food from Right on Track, I also put together my food for the remaining 5 days with meals I created myself, like my own holy moly breakfast bars for breakfast, backcountry dehydrated spaghetti, and white bean sausage soup for dinners. Check the video description below for a link to the videos showing my recipes for both the holy moly breakfast bars and my backcountry dehydrated spaghetti. For lunches, I packed some of my favorite grocery store backpacking meals, including tortillas with chicken packets, and my most favorite trail meal, fancy hard cheese, peppered salami, and bagel chips and crackers. For snacks, I added all of my current favorites, including barbecue chips, focaccia bread, which ended up molding halfway through my trip, lemon bars, gummy peaches, almond roca, mixed nuts, brownie bites, almond M&Ms, honey sesame sticks, gummy bears, and peanut butter-filled pretzels. To make my breakfast even more nutritional, I decided to try Kenckos powdered smoothies as a way to get more fruits and vegetables into my system in the morning. Each smoothie is the equivalent to 2.5 servings of fruits and vegetables. Kenckos Smoothies come in a powdered form and are super easy to make. Just mix them with water in a water bottle. They're also really tasty and super light to pack. I made a couple of new gear swaps to my backcountry kitchen this season. For my cooking system, I switched to the new Jetboil Stash cooking system. For my spoon, I brought back the Sea to Summit long spoon. For all of my Right on Track meals, I cook them directly in my pot of my Jetboil Stash cooking system. I love this stove because thanks to the Jetboil technology, it only takes around 2 minutes to boil water, making this stove super fuel efficient even if it's windy out. The Stash stove is small and compact. The pot can fit a small 3.9 ounce fuel canister inside for easy storage, and still has room inside to also store the stove, a small lighter, and a small towel. For this trip, since I was using a medium-sized 8-ounce fuel canister, there was only room for the 8-ounce fuel canister to fit inside the pot. I stored my stove, spoon, and towel inside my DIY food cozy. For the meals I put together myself or picked up in the grocery store, I cooked them by using boiling water, Ziploc freezer bags, and my DIY food cozy. For these meals, I'd start by boiling the water in my Jetboil Stash cooking system. Then I'd add the boiling water to the meal inside a Ziploc freezer bag, stir the meal and water together with my Sea to Summit long spoon, close the Ziploc bag, and then put it inside my DIY food cozy and let it sit anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes, allowing the meal to fully cook and rehydrate. I love this way of cooking because 1, it saves me on fuel, 2, it keeps me from dirtying my pot and having to clean it out after I eat, and 3, while my meal is cooking, I can do something else like finishing setting up camp, visit with my friends, check out the scenery around me, filter water, or eat a snack. Once my meal is done cooking, I can eat my meal right out of the Ziploc bag with my long-handled spoon. The long-handled spoon makes it so I don't dirty up my fingers and knuckles trying to get my food out of the bag. When I'm done, I turn the Ziploc bag into a garbage bag for the trash I collect out on trail. I kept all of my food stored inside my pack during the day in an earth sack, which is the 20-liter Almighty Grizzly Bear and Critter sack. Inside the earth sack, I also stored my food in a lock sack, op sack, odor-proof barrier bag for extra protection. At night, we would hang all of our food bags on the bear pole provided at each tent site throughout the park. When camping anywhere within Mount Rainier National Park, you are required to practice proper food storage. Hikers must use bear poles to hang their food or use bear canisters. Since bear canisters are heavy and cumbersome, I opted to bring my earth sack and hang it up on the bear pole at the tent site each night. Part of being a good steward to the land is packing out all of your trash. This also includes toilet paper. I would turn either one of my old Right on Track food storage bags or a previously used Ziploc freezer bag into a trash bag to store all of my trash in. Throughout our 10-day hike, we had a couple places where we were able to throw out our trash, which included Mowich Lake, Longmire, Box Canyon, and White River Campground. For the rest of the time, we properly stored our trash within our packs during the day or in our food bags at night, and then carried everything out with us. Remember, what you pack in, you must also pack out. So that's all the backpacking food I brought with me for this trip, along with all the gear I brought for my backpacking cooking system and how I prepared my backpacking meals on trail. Don't forget to check out the video description below for links to videos that I mentioned in this video, including how I planned my Wonderland Trail hike, the playlist for the entire Wonderland Trail vlog series, along with videos featuring backpacking food recipes and grocery store backpacking meals I brought with me for this trip. Thanks again to Right on Trek for inviting me to try their backpacking food service and gifting me 5 days worth of food for my trip. Use code HungryHiker50 to get a 50% discount off of your first order. If you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up button, and if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy trails and keep on trekking.